Have you ever heard the story of a super tough general who had to dip himself in a muddy river 7 times to be healed? It sounds a little crazy, right? Well, let me tell you all about it. This is the incredible story of Naaman from the Bible. Naaman was a big deal. He was the commander of the army of the king of Aram. He was a brave warrior, a man of valor, and his king thought the world of him. Through him, the Lord had given victory to Aram. He was strong, he was respected, he had it all. Except for one big problem. Naaman had leprosy. Back then, this was a terrible skin disease that made your skin all scaly and yucky, and it could make you an outcast. Imagine being a powerful general, but hiding this condition under your armor. Now, in Naaman's house, there was a young servant girl. She had been captured from Israel during a raid. Even though she was far from home, she hadn't forgotten her God. One day, she said to Naaman's wife, "If only my master would see the prophet who is in Samaria, he would cure him of his leprosy." What a brave and kind thing for her to say. She could have been bitter, but instead, she showed compassion. When Naaman heard this, a spark of hope ignited. He went straight to his king and told him what the girl from Israel had said. The king of Aram was like, "By all means, go. I'll even write a letter to the king of Israel for you." So Naaman packed his bags, but he didn't pack light. He took with him 10 talents of silver, 6,000 shekels of gold, and 10 sets of fancy clothes. He was ready to pay for his healing. He loaded up his chariots and horses and set off for Israel. When he arrived, he presented the letter to the king of Israel. The letter basically said, "With this letter I am sending my servant Naaman to you, so that you may cure him of his leprosy." The king of Israel completely panicked. He tore his robes and said, "Am I God? Can I kill and bring back to life? Why does this man send someone to me to be cured of his leprosy? See how he is trying to pick a fight with me." He thought it was a political trap. But word of the king's distress reached Elisha, the man of God. Elisha sent a message to the king saying, "Why have you torn your robes? Have the man come to me, and he will know that there is a prophet in Israel." So Naaman, with all his horses and chariots, pulled up to Elisha's house. He probably expected a grand welcome, a special ceremony, maybe some magic words. But Elisha didn't even come out to greet him. Instead, he sent a messenger out with a simple and frankly kind of weird instruction. The message was, "Go, wash yourself 7 times in the Jordan River, and your flesh will be restored, and you will be cleansed." Naaman was furious. He had traveled all this way, brought all these expensive gifts, and the prophet wouldn't even see him in person? And the instructions, wash in the Jordan? He went away in a rage, saying, "I thought that he would surely come out to me and stand and call on the name of the Lord his God, wave his hand over the spot, and cure me of my leprosy. Are not Abana and Pharpar, the rivers of Damascus, better than all the waters of Israel? Couldn't I wash in them and be cleansed?" He was so offended. He felt disrespected. The solution seemed too simple, too ordinary. And the Jordan River was known for being muddy, not clean and clear like the rivers back home. So he turned and was about to storm off in a huff. But thankfully, Naaman had some wise servants. They came to him and said gently, "My father, if the prophet had told you to do some great thing, would you not have done it? How much more, then, when he tells you, 'Wash and be cleansed'?" They made a great point. Naaman was ready for a difficult, heroic task. He wasn't ready for simple obedience. Their words calmed him down. He realized they were right. What did he have to lose? So he humbled himself. He went down to the Jordan River. It was probably muddy and murky, just as he thought. He took a deep breath and dipped himself in. One time, he came up, looked at his skin, still covered in leprosy. Nothing had changed. He did it again. 2 times, still nothing. 3 times, 4, 5, 6 times he dipped himself into that muddy water, and still he was a leper. Can you imagine the doubt creeping in? He must have felt so foolish. People were probably watching him. But he had come this far. He had to follow the instructions exactly. 7 times. He took one more breath and went under for the 7th time. When he came up out of the water, something miraculous had happened. He looked at his skin, and it was completely restored. The leprosy was gone. His skin was smooth and healthy, like the skin of a young boy. It was a total, instantaneous miracle. He was healed. Naaman and all his attendants went straight back to Elisha's house. This time he stood before the prophet and said with all his heart, "Now I know that there is no God in all the world except in Israel. Please accept a gift from your servant." He was overwhelmed with gratitude and wanted to give Elisha all the gold and silver and fine clothes he had brought. But Elisha refused. He said, "As surely as the Lord lives, whom I serve, I will not accept a thing." He wanted Naaman to understand that this healing wasn't something that could be bought. It was a free gift from God, a demonstration of his power and grace, not a transaction. Naaman was transformed, not just on the outside, but on the inside too. He learned a powerful lesson about humility and faith. He said to Elisha, "Your servant will never again make burnt offerings and sacrifices to any other god but the Lord." He even asked for some of the earth from Israel to take back with him, so he could build an altar and worship the one true God in his own land. He had come seeking a physical cure, but he left with a spiritual conversion. He found faith in the God of Israel. What a powerful story, right? Naaman expected a complicated, grand solution that matched his status. But God's plan was simple. Humble yourself and obey. It didn't make sense to Naaman at first. Dip in a muddy river? Why? But his obedience, even when he didn't understand, is what unlocked the miracle. Sometimes in our own lives, God asks us to do things that seem small, simple, or even a little silly. Maybe it's forgiving someone who hurt us, being kind when we don't feel like it, or trusting him when things look impossible. Like Naaman, we might be tempted to think our own ways are better. But this story shows us that simple obedience to God can lead to incredible blessings and miracles we could never achieve on our own. It's not about how grand the task is, but about the heart that's willing to trust and obey. So, whatever you're facing today, remember Naaman. Don't dismiss the simple things God might be asking you to do. Trust his plan, even when it doesn't make sense. You never know what amazing things he has in store on the other side of your obedience. Thanks so much for watching with me today. I hope this story encouraged you. If you liked it, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe for more amazing stories from the Bible. Sweet dreams and good night.